We're back on the Ride 9 Lounge live Saturday morning. DSN Network, W Digital Broadcasting, 1620 Urban Classics, the DSN BX app, and the WR Digital Broadcasting app. So wherever you're catching us, I'm glad you're listening. Took some time out your day, but you didn't have to do it. But we appreciate you. Joined now by another lovely Sapphire, who look like from Josie and the Pussycat.
Which character are you? Which character are you?
Josie.
The black girl?
No, that's not Val. That's Val. No. He's white. So Sapphire is breaking a lot of stereotypes with the blonde. So she's making it all. But she's helping the sisters out. They're gonna make you a new Jackie Robinson.
Sister's gonna work it out. Sister's gonna work it out.
Now we were talking before with the fellas about the Trick Daddy comment.
Man.
Now I know you're a woman who takes a lot of pride in being a female. You're very strong, powerful. You know, the Charles Oakley of the clique.
No BO.
I can't be
Body
like
odor.
a strong female.
All right, okay, Xena Warrior Princess. How about that?
Tag the dude.
Xena Warrior Princess. How about that?
I was gonna say Christy
How about
Love.
Norma Ray?
I was gonna say Christy Love.
Well, that's a little bit.
Or Jackie Brown.
That's you showing your age again with the Christy Love.
I
don't even know who that is.
That's exactly. See, you showing your age.
Wait, help me out. Who's
no,
Christy Love?
Jackie Brown. I mean, shout out to Jackie Love. I mean, Jackie Brown.
Who's Christy Brown?
Christy Love. You didn't remember Christy Love?
Nah,
that was
really
from the 70s.
Oh, okay,
that's
why.
He wasn't born yet.
That's
He
why.
wasn't even nowhere near.
I
He was
wasn't-
like a 90s baby.
No, but a lot of people still know.
No, just you.
Just me.
Listen, I don't watch TV Land. I'm sorry.
Christy Love was like Beretta. She was a detective, a black detective. She was like Pam Grier, Foxy Brown, but they had her on TV.
Well, not for long.
I don't know who that is.
Let's move on. We're talking about something modernized. Hey, Bobby Blue Bland, all these old
Bobby Boo. You say Bobby Blue.
Let me move on. Now, we were talking about the Trick Daddy thing. We made the comment about black women need to tighten up. Now, if we kind of dissect this, I don't know if Trick driving his car in Miami or Florida, where he was at,
Low ride.
dissecting this, but your thoughts on what he said, and from just your experience, is that the feelings of a lot of black men?
Now you said who made this comment?
Trick
Daddy
Daddy.
made a
Who?
comment.
The player.
Yeah, who?
Okay.
Trick Daddy. The
Yeah,
Trick.
exactly.
Relax. You don't get it. Go ahead. See, Black Tourette. But go ahead.
Like who? Trick who? Listen.
Trick Daddy.
I'm a thug.
Listen, that's the self-proclaimed mayor of Miami. Y'all better recognize. You better put some respect on that man's name.
Okay. What's up? Shut up. I like Trick.
Exactly. And follow your own words. Really. And I'm gonna go in and I don't care. Don't get me wrong, I love Miami. Trick is cool. However, it's a new age in women right now. And
Self-proclaimed.
I'm not trying to make
Y'all better
excuses,
recognize.
but when we were in a time of catering to men, our black men, when you guys, some of you were getting incarcerated, and it was that black woman or Hispanic woman that was making those visits and making sure commissary was good, or when you was in between jobs, or you always had 50 million plans going on because every other 6 months you had a new business scheme. It was the woman that was
Same my brother-in-law.
it was the woman that was still holding you down and still making sure dinner was on the table and still catering to you and those needs, and when we were tired, still giving you the loving that you want. And over the years, and you could see that statistically, those actions have not been reciprocated.
So you're saying that the black man has not
Appreciated the
Right.
black
Have
woman.
not supported, and where do I get this
appreciated.
from? I just get this from hardcore, just seeing other females who have the same story, and then at the end of the day, the men are not appreciating certain things. Now you're in an era where females are about their careers right now. They're about doing them. They are about just moving differently, and they kind of do have the guy mentality a little bit, meaning they're just going to get theirs right now.
So how do you combat that? You're a single professional woman. You do a lot of different things, media, entertainment. You drive a very nice car. So, I mean, how do you deal with that and just in an individual standpoint?
Right now, for me, because I've been a little lucky. I've had both ends of the spectrum. I've had guys that appreciate, and I had guys that didn't.
White man?
And I've dated a white guy before.
Okay.
I did. I did.
Why got me?
I did. I thought maybe it
Simone,
would be.
I said, you dudes better tighten up. Tighten up.
Well, she has got blonde hair now, you know. So I'm just asking.
This was back in my.
If these white boys start rapping, y'all useless.
Get your credit up. Get that credit up.
That credit up.
Bang bang.
No, it wasn't like that. It was just my working environment at the time. I was working down by Wall Street. I was a personal trainer then or whatever. It just happened that way. And you would think, people say, let me date outside my race. It might be different A, B, and C, but at the end of the day, a man is a man. So I realized no matter what his color is or nationality, men are still men.
Good.
So that whole idea.
Do you have a preference? At this point?
African?
You know what? It's so crazy. No, and
She's
and
trying
this,
to really be serious here.
I'm
you guys are he's just laughing.
No.
I said African.
White?
What?
Puerto Rican?
African treat their women like queens.
Oh, not the ones in the Bronx. You be riding shotgun in a taxi.
Go get that.
No, and many people may not like this comment or may not like me after this. It is what it is. But for a long time, I'm not gonna lie, I did not want to have kids with a dark skinned guy.
Ooh, okay, why? Why is it?
Nappy hair?
Now backstage is dark skin.
No. And I'm being real. And I looked at the type of men that I dated and even complexion wise, crazy. Oddly enough, I've dated a couple of dark skinned men, and I always contemplated. I contemplated that because I see what's going on in society, and I was like, Dad, I really don't want to have my kids going through a lot of nonsense that a normal African American black male or female is going through. I think I want to have my child look a little.
You don't think the Alvin Shaw brothers do anything?
They do.
My question is, I like to know, because I always hear people say, what is dark skin? What's the criteria somebody say?
Yapping Kodo dark?
This table?
I feel the same way.
I'm just curious to know what's dark.
Look, everybody know what dark skin is. I'm light skin. Rodeo was like brown skin up here.
I'm not light skin.
Dark skin. No offense, I love you, but I've dated a complexion. No, I've dated a complexion for a long time. My ex fiance is that dark, and we moved slowly. But in the back of my mind, I always said, I don't know if I think I want my children to look mixed or a little biracial because of things that are going on out in the world.
Now, have you ever felt guilty about feeling that way?
I did feel guilty about feeling like that, and I just had this conversation the other day to see if my feelings are still the same. They kind of almost are, even though I wouldn't stop myself from dating someone darker than me, because love is love at the end of the day. I just don't want to see my children go through so much stuff that even right now today I see it as it being far worse in the near future. And I feel like I don't even think African American children or dark-skinned children would still have as much rights and things like that, opportunities.
So you're saying it's more cause of your offspring. That's what you're looking at it from.
Right.
It's not about. I mean, it's not about just what you like. It's about my next level.
Yeah.
That's more the thing.
Yeah. It bothered me for a long time. I think right now, as far as dating, what's my preference? I think right now, I just enjoy being single for a sec, just to refocus and just.
Wesley Snipes can step to you now in the single before.
I don't know if I would still feel the same attraction. It would have to be something.
Wesley Snipes still got tax problems, man. She ain't set.
But
the thing is, I'm gonna honestly speak on this because even no matter what, it doesn't matter if your kid is light, dark, whatever it is, as long as they are considered black or Hispanic, anybody of color, they're gonna have a hard time regardless because of how America is. And until the thing's straightened out, it's gonna be that way. But the thing I got faith in is as we get older and some of those, I hate to say it like this, people die off of those racist backgrounds. These kids nowadays that's coming up are not really seeing color like they used to no more. It's not really that much in that fashion.
Yeah,
Josh, what about? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, because I be catching it. Sometimes I stay a little quiet a lot of times.
Go.
And I feel you, Ed. But see, things like that are taught through our generation. So I still feel like it'll never be fully eradicated with this racism that's going on between complexion and race and this, that, and the third. I think it will still go down the line. I think we'll still have a long period of time before we actually see it die out, because what's going to happen is, even if they begin to see other races, and you'll see now pictures of, you know, a Caucasian child and an African American child, and they're playing together and they're hugging at the age of 2 and 3, but then still social levels start to kick in when they're at school and they start to grow up. That's going to cause a separation.
Now, with that being said, just what Sapphire mentioned about complexion, isn't it just as much a conundrum for an interracial child?
Definitely. Because
I know that's a tough word.
That's a tough word.
He said conundrum. I thought
No, I
he was
didn't say that. That's okay. Just
for any child growing up, it's hard.
Right.
I mean, I went to a school where I was one of 3 black kids, and everybody else was white.
Really?
So growing up, it was hard. Yeah,
In Mount Vernon?
No.
Oh.
In the Bronx.
Really?
I'm not going to say the name of the school, but I went there till I was in 6th grade, and I went from pre-K to 6th, and that was at times where, as a black child, they thought we didn't know how to read, we couldn't write, all types of different things I had to go through as a black child, because I was in a school where my parents could afford to put me in, where everybody was either Jewish or white or something like that.
Did you ever tell your parents at a young age that you're not comfortable going to school, and they didn't? And they just told you to go in your room.
At the time I was able to speak up, it was around 5th, 6th grade, and that was the time when my parents decided to move. That's when we moved to Mount Vernon. That's when I went and had a whole new setting. But as far as going back to another point, as far as color, I think the color's always been something passed down to through slavery, where the house Negro was always the fair-skinned, light-skinned Negro, and they always looked down on the field Negro, who was dark-skinned, always working hard. And I hate to say this, but I'm not attracted to dark-skinned women, and that's my personal thing. It's
nothing wrong with that either.
It's nothing
wrong with
No, the same reason he said.
I'm being honest. Like,
I respect your honesty.
To me, a dark-skinned woman and they doesn't do it for me.
Well, hold on. I respect Justin's my brother. I respect his honesty, but that meant that revelation. Something is wrong with
Yeah, but hold on. But everybody has a preference. He don't, like she said, she don't want dark skin. She didn't care for dark to go with dark skinned men. But that's the preference. Like people, like they rather go with big women and skinny women. Don't involve me. That's not another. I'm talking about other people. I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about other people. But I'm saying everybody. This is what the United States is based on. This country. Everybody has a preference.
So you wouldn't see
who they want to be with.
You wouldn't see like a Kenya Moore or
a Lupita Nyong'o. No.
What's wrong with Kenya Moore?
No, not me.
I never said I wouldn't date dark skinned men, because I've dated dark skinned men and had nice relations. I just worry about having offsprings with them. I worry.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
No, it's not.
I'm not worried about the offspring, because we ain't going to even that far.
She wears rubbers with a dark skinned dude. And
the light skinned dude.
And I'll be sure go wrong.
Did anybody tell you this is the all white party?
It's not, because love is blind,
right?
But I just think about my child. I'm telling you, it got to the point where I was looking at Asian names. I wanted them to see the application. I'm being serious. I wanted them to see. I wanted the name to be a name that wasn't a Jamal Jackson. And I wanted it to be a name where if they were to see my child's name on an application, they wouldn't judge it off the bat.
But hold on. You have had people. My father was dark skinned. Thank you, Kevin. He took after him. My mother was light skinned.
I'm proud of my complexion.
I took like in between the men. But you have people that two dark skinned women, two dark skinned couples can have a light skinned baby, and like you light skinned. So your child would probably come out my complexion.
Right, because your grandmother is dark.
My grandmother was white.
Our grandmother was white.
Dark skinned. My grandfather is light skinned, and my mom came the lightest out of all, to where my grandmother didn't even believe that my mom was actually her child, because that's how.
Oh wow!
And my mom actually
Take her back.
No, my mom had reddish hair. She was reddish hair with freckles and lights.
she
She
probably-
15 years old.
And she probably thought your daddy was his husband cheating.
I think that's what my whole session of reddish and blonde hair comes from, just from my mom. But
Wow.
my mom, yes, took that side where my aunt and my uncles took.
It wasn't like a
mine.
Kardashian thing with your mama.
Right. It was
Yeah.
So it was like that's what.
Don't explain to him.
No,
Whole family, we know this.
You ain't gotta explain to him.
My
Yeah.
mom took me. My mom, when I grew up, didn't even tan. She barely changed color in the
Yeah.
summertime.
They thought your grandmother was getting it on with the Asian dude.
And then when I
Keep the
see
family business
my
personal.
mom compared to my biological dad, my biological dad is very dark.
Right.
But I get, and then my mom is very light, and I get a lot of the Asian eyes from that. So I'm sure, I know, probably just by design, I may still end up with a dark skinned guy. I just have worries. I don't think it's wrong with having certain worries in the back of my mind that my child is not right off the bat going to be just like tossed to the side.
But I want to share this. Growing up, me and my sister is the same complexion. We used to tease my brother, say he was adopted. He
I wish
wasn't
some
one
days
of
I
us.
was not. Maybe that kind of
And
explains some
one
stuff.
day my mother said, "Stop saying that, because you're going to give him a complex or a twitch." Because you say you're not one of us.
I'm just the
Look how
smartest
dark you
one.
are. You
I
know.
thought I was like that when Reverend Jackson back in the days was running for president. I'll never forget this. I was in Harlem. I was home and I saw a magazine and it had different nationality of females in it. And I said, Uncle, I'm like this one. And he
It must have been Ebony.
and said it was. And he ran and said, "Ma, this girl in here thinking she's white."
How dark you
I thought
are. You know.
I was so. It's funny how that the complexities, even for color, who
Right.
you are, starts at a very young age.
I know with me, hold on, but with me, I never had that problem.
Yeah, we know.
No, I never. No, but I'm being honest with you, and just from my attraction for things that we grew up on a block. It was a Jewish
Digress.
block.
It was
across the
digress.
street. There was a Spanish family down the block. Our neighbors
Italian
were,
at
were
the
old,
corner.
Were,
Yeah,
were really
it was
old,
digress.
Jim Crow white. So I never felt that way. And growing up, I didn't know there was even racism at one point in my life as an adolescent. That never came to my mind. If I see a girl, I can see a dark skinned girl, I can see a light skinned girl, and nothing. It just whatever. If the bell went off in my head, she's cute. I never had that. I think as you get older and you start to hang out in different circles and you start having different conversations, we are all conditioned to different things where people will say, well, oh wow, she's labeled cute, she's labeled ugly, her hair is good, hers is not, she's got this, she's got that. And the class system starts with black folks because most of us never had a lot of money, or the circles in the city. We had to find differences in our appearance. In most countries or class systems, is about money. It's about, okay, whose family came from here. You can have a really fair-skinned person be the bottom feeder in another country like India, the class system, and have a real dark person be the top. So it's just the way our country, and it does have something to do with slavery. But again, at 2016, this is good. I'm glad we had this conversation because somebody needs to hear it, because people will not admit some of the things that are real about
They
it.
feel like it's not socially accepted.
But it's something to be talked about.
And my cup is running
It's a
over.
definite thing to be talked about because I grew up the same way.
Right,
I
right.
didn't really, my parents didn't really, I never really knew about racism and stuff like that much when I was growing up. But when I got into a certain age, then I started seeing the thing that really bothered me when I was growing up. When you have your own kind,
Yeah.
that don't want to be bothered with you because you're dark.
And my cup is running over.
And that's
Yeah.
what really, really, really hurts.
Yeah.
And I can honestly speak on that.
Right.
We have racism between ourselves,
That's-
let alone with white people. You got
that's-
dark.
I think that's
you
our
got
problem.
Africans
But-
don't like West Indian. You like West Indian don't like Americans.
That's what
you
we
know.
get, but that's how we've been gauged to understand.
We've
from
been programmed,
way
I
back.
think, at times.
And I'm not talking about 20, 30. I'm talking 3, 4, 500 years ago, back in the 16, 14, 1500s, when we were going in our own towns, catching ourselves and delivering ourselves to the white man for the boat back in the slave trade.
Well,
that's how they got slaves. They didn't go in and catch us.
Well,
they would send other tribes into that were already in Africa, grab us, and then send us back. You got a lot of cultures that West Indian cultures, other cultures feel that they're better than a black American.
So let me flip that 1 second. Let's flip that again to what we experience from a gun violence standpoint, right? Now, we always talk about the police brutality issue in our country, how, we don't get the same respect because they're second-class citizens. Now, we're having a conversation. I consider all you guys very intelligent people, and we're having a conversation about some of the thoughts we have. So as intelligent African-American people, we're having this conversation. What does that say about what other people think about us, right? Now, again, because if we look at it amongst ourselves and say, well, they got a problem with us, but yet we got a problem with ourselves. If my house if my inner house is all messed up, how can I expect the guy down the street to respect my house if I can't respect my own house and the people that live in it with me?
That's why we don't get along with each other, and that's the problem.
How do we change that? Because if we're having, we know the problems for years. We grew up with the problems have been embedded in us. Sapphire, how do we start to change that? If my house is...
Unfortunately, that's going to be a process that's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in
right, but when you lay seeds in the ground, it's got to start somewhere.
But you're going to have to reprogram the people to think differently. Right. The problem is, do the people even want to be reprogrammed to think
so differently? How do we start the reprogram?
I think, I think it's actually started around now, oddly enough, and I hate to say it because it's such a girly thing, hair. And I'm going to explain to you why.
Speak for yourself. Right.
Hair meaning right now the natural look and the natural hair in the fro and the curliness of the natural look right now is just taking the social media in this new fashion statement by storm over the last couple of years, and it's even getting more and more accepting. Before, if you came across a woman who decided to wear her hair natural and whatever tone it was it short and kinky or long and curly, most oftentimes she was looked at as, do something with your hair. Correct. Do something with yourself. Right now, that's the thing. It's like, why are you not rocking natural hair? Right. Why is your hair curly? Because you're starting to get back. You're starting to get back into your roots. Everyone wants to get back into their roots.
Not in Coming to America, Soul Glow.
Wait, hold on. And you're having not just, light-skinned females doing it. You're having, darker skinned females doing it. And now when you see pictures of it, you're like, wow, she's beautiful, or that's beautiful, no matter what the tone is. You'd be surprised how something like that so small can start to change something.
I agree with you. So big. I agree. I think it starts with a mirror.
Not in Coming,
because I think some of the thoughts that we have as individuals or as a people start within. It's an internal love. It's the same reason why we have breast enlargements and things like that. It's an inner love, and if you can't love the mirror, if I can't love what I see, I can't love you. If I can't love what I see, I
feel
can't
sorry for you.
Well, I mean, but I the thing about it, at this stage in my life, I am at the most complete professional, mental, spiritual place I've ever been in my life. And I can look at myself and I can say, you know what? It's almost like sports, right? The game has gotten slower for me. Like when you play sports and you're fast and moving, the game has gotten slower for me. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about me. It doesn't matter what somebody says. Oh, you wear this, you do that, you work this, you work that. I'm happy with me. And if I'm happy with me, I can now spread that love to other people. I can't help nobody. I can't assist anybody if I don't have that within me. Sometimes we do things for others hoping we get the result. I do it now for myself. If I did something for you, Rodeo, and you did nothing for me, it wouldn't matter because I'm doing it for me.
You don't do nothing for me anyway.
Exactly.
but for it to work, we gotta have conversations like this.
Yeah.
And we actually gotta
be afraid to talk about it.
You can't be afraid to talk about it. You gotta bring light to it, and you gotta bring it out and educate people. These kids are not getting that type of an education in the school system about, this, and this. If you don't read a lot of this stuff on your own and go do the research online or wherever you want to go, you're not gonna know how this all came about, and that's the problem.
But again, it's got to start in the mirror, because if you don't see this, if there's no problem here, there's no reason to go study. If there's no problem here, there's no reason to go seek information.
To be honest with you, I'm looking at it like this because I always thought about this, and I try to help out with this in my school districts I'm in, that you got to start teaching kids every nationality and what they contribute to America to make them start feeling a little bit more a part of America. Because all you go to, remember, all we went to school, we all just know nothing but mostly a lot of white people and everything else, and then we learned a couple things like Washington Carver and a couple other ones, but you didn't learn about them until later on. So if you start seeing what certain groups of people contribute, hopefully that can start bringing people more and more into respecting and understanding different things.
And can I go back to Trick Daddy? So what's the conclusion of cause we went from Trick Daddy to this.
Well, right, that was kind of the origin of it.
So do you have a conclusion on the?
It's the bigger picture.
It's the bigger picture.
He just started a platform of conversation.
Yes.
And the thing about it with Trick, and I would love to get Trick on here, and I've actually already reached out to him. But my thing is that
You gonna call him Trick?
That's what I don't know his government. So what?
He wouldn't mind you call him Daddy. Hey, Daddy. Yeah, I'm a pimp.
$dollar bills I'm trying to collect.
Yeah, we ain't going there. But no, to kind of put down a bow. Yeah, I'm wrapping this up. To put down a bow is that, Trick's got to look in the mirror and realize that he comes from a black woman. He comes from black pride. My grandmother, God rest her soul, always told me that there's nothing that you should ever feel negative or down about your heritage, because you come from kings and queens, and those same people that came over on slave ships that dealt with disease and sickness and hunger and laid in their own feces, and they survived. So what is your problem? You got a problem with what is your problem?
You got to stop looking in the right places for the right type of woman.
Right.
And I just want to leave if I can, the people that's watching with
30 seconds,
because you said love,
right?
But not a lot of people, more than none, know exactly what love is, to love thyself, because they still look to the media for attention. So if you are looking at yourself in the mirror, is society still dictating what love is, so then for you to know how to love yourself?
We're going to end it there. We're going to take a quick break, and it's been pretty riveting. I didn't know we was going there. I didn't know Trick can bring that out of us, but we did. That's what we do, the best team in radio. Take a quick break. Nafi Lounge, come on back.